for the Game Awards this year, who got snubbed? Was there any snubs? Honestly, that's why. Like, that's something. Who will win, and who is something we hope to win? I say we, because to help discuss that in today's Codename Good Game, Josh from Quest Mode returns. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Codename Good Game. Is this episode 40? I don't know, actually. This might be episode 40. If it's not, 39, 41. It's the Game Awards, favorite time of year, and there is an annual tradition to have a certain somebody that is my first, I think, one of the first collabs ever I've done, at least. Sir Josh from Quest Mode. Hello, good sir.
What is happening? Thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it. And yeah, you were my first collab as well. I haven't done many, but you were the first. And yeah, it's fun to talk video games and Game Awards with you every year. I love being on the show.
I looked back at this. We did our first one of these. If people don't know, Josh and I go back to, it was the 2019 Game Awards.
Dang, was it that long ago? 6 years?
Isn't that crazy? Well, I was going to say Avengers End. That's the year Avengers Endgame happened. It's been since Avengers Endgame. That was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't remember the games of 2019. I feel like that was a kind of a soft year compared to like this year, for example.
2019. I mean, that was the year you got, I believe, that was actually your game of the year, Jedi Fallen Order, I think.
That's right. And I think what won that year was
Sekiro,
which I played. I played it in January.
Resident Evil 2 Remake. 2019 was a good year, actually. I just played Resident Evil 2 Remake, FYI. So finally. Yeah.
Oh, you hadn't played it before? No, I'm not one to talk because I've never played Resident Evil 4, the old one or the new one. So
okay. I mean, no, you have no idea. I've played so much this year. Like, I have some clips that I'm going to be rolling that's what I wanted to surprise you with at some point during this stream to prove how far back Josh and I go. I have 2 clips that I want to roll when we get into certain categories, because today, folks, we are doing what we haven't done in a while, because the last time I had you on, you, me, and Nick were doing a fantasy draft. That's what we did last year. That was a lot of fun.
I remember. You
have the biggest record. You got, out of 20 things, you got 18 right. 18!
Dang.
That's my hook.
No,
it's like, oh,
for that.
That's my hook, is like, oh, let's see if Josh gets like twice as many right compared to me today for who will actually win awards. Like, I don't know. We'll see if it happens, man. But
I do think that this year is a little easier to predict the Game Awards. That's dude. My opinion, let's get into that, because like really quick, just on screen, as I have, again, I'm doing this like off camera here, you can see there's a lot of categories. We're not going to be going over all them, mostly just esports, maybe a quick mention to like mobile VR sports or something, but for the most part, I would say we're going to be doing 2/3 of these categories. And if we don't got much to say, we'll at least comment on them to predict who will win, who we hope to win, perhaps, if it's different, just to share it, and if we feel something was snubbed from even getting nominated. I think I was looking at clips of our old ones, and I think you said, like, I feel like this year it's a bit harder to predict, like, what's going to happen or who will win and stuff. But this year, as you teased, I feel like it's a bit easier to predict, no? Or why did you say that? I can't say it without, I can't figure out how to say it without spoiling it at all. But yeah, it's just, I just feel that this year I just think it's predictable what's going to happen. And that might become evident as we get through the nominations.
I think I know what you mean by that, and probably people listening know what you mean by that, but I have some curveballs to throw at that, but we'll see. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, let us know what you were disappointed got snubbed, what you hope will win, what you think will win. But Josh will get into it, and it's like I said, I was talking with Josh off camera. I'd love to catch up with him. It's been a long time since he's been on the channel, but I hope it's been a good year for you. That you've played some decent stuff, that you haven't been too busy. And there's going to be a category. I'm going to kind of tease at that with you. But one more mention before we get into this is I want to roll this little clip here. This is from our first predictions thing ever. And this is the last overall comment that I want to bring up. So this is a clip from our 2019 on your channel, the Game Awards. And you'll understand hopefully why I'm playing this.
It struck me kind of disappointed that game didn't make it. But what struck me most was that Death Stranding took in 10 nominations, and it has more nominations than any other game. And I do think
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was something I thought of too. Yeah.
Yeah, it does merit some nominations. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a lot that Death Stranding does great, but I don't think it is I mean, I won't get too much into my opinions, but at least not yet. But it did surprise me that got as many nominations as it did. And
I wanted to play that because this year, Josh, that was our first time doing this. And now it's like 6 years later or whatever. And Death Stranding 2 is a thing.
Yeah.
It got nominated for a lot.
I know. Well, I feel like anything Kojima does will get nominated a lot. Not because there's any like conspiracy going on. It just, the industry loves that guy.
Like I could search, this is actually cool. I could search what games got nominated for what. Yeah, I got Game of the Year, Art Direction, Narrative, Art Direction, Score, Audio Design, Action Adventure. Like,
is that all?
I don't know.
That must be what it won. Because if I said
those are all the wrong. No, this is for this year, Death Stranding 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, it's a lot.
I just thought that was an interesting thing because that was like our first one ever, and now here we are with a sequel, and it got nominated for like 7 things yet again. But I feel like this year. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I did hear that Death Stranding 2 is, quite a bit better than the first one in many ways.
That's what I was gonna say. Yep. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I hear it improved upon everything, so maybe this year it's much more deservedly so. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about some things. With first off, as we get into the following year, most anticipated game. Most anticipated. We have. Well, by the way, recognizing an announced game that has demonstrated that has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the game medium forward. You got 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, The Witcher 4. Now, when you look at this, do you feel like there's something that doesn't belong?
Yes, 100%. I mean, no, I feel like they all belong, but is one of these things different than all the others? Absolutely. Like, that's kind of the way I see it. But I don't see any on here. GTA 6. I mean, that is the one that like just head and shoulders is above everything else. But I don't see anything that like does. Well, The Witcher 4, is that like, I guess that just seems like it's way far off. I feel like that game's not coming out until like 2029. Maybe 2030.
So that's my issue with this list. Like, admittedly, I think personally, if a game got, because somebody in my comments brought up a good point, like, oh, if they just made it, my solution to this is make this category instead most anticipated 2026 game.
Yes.
I think that would solve so much. And because of that, it's like if something was nominated for most anticipated 2025 game, I think it should be ineligible. Like they can't just delay it and get it again kind of a thing. This might seem like a superficial category too, but I think it's worthy of noting because this is like the marketing teams, the marketing side of video games and such. And that is a part of it. But yeah, that in mind, I think Grand Theft Auto 6, it's just weird because like, what is it going to win 2 times in a row? And The Witcher 4, as you said, it's like where that game's not close. Like we just got it revealed last year. So,
similarly, I think The Witcher 4 could win multiple times if they keep it on the list, if it doesn't get released for another couple of years.
Yes. I didn't even think of that, Josh. You're so right. Yeah. That's true. I didn't even think of that. That's true. So I don't know. It's like, obviously Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to win. I don't see why it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Would Witcher 4 take it over it because of that? Or like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it will once GTA 6 comes out. I think The Witcher 4 is going to be one of the most anticipated games. Until they announce whatever the next Cyberpunk is, pretty much.
How about let's say so we both agree probably will be Grand Theft Auto 6. Let's say we just both agree that it's weird Grand Theft Auto 6 is here and The Witcher 4 is here. Let's say that means 2 things were snubbed. What do you think was snubbed?
If we're going 2026 games, I don't know how much has actually been.
How about you give one and I'll give one?
If I had to pick one right now off the top of my head, I'm going Fable.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. Because Xbox has a lot coming next year, especially like their 4 Horsemen. It's the year the 4 Horsemen are coming out. Not a single one of them in this category. Not a single one of them. That's crazy to me that Gears of War, E-Day, and Fable are not here. That's wild. Now, granted, again, obviously put Witcher 4 and Grand Theft Auto 6 above it if they're eligible, but like, yeah. I was going to say Fable as well. So I don't know if you have...
Sorry, but it just occurred to me. It's like if they're going to put The Witcher 4 in here, you know what's actually a more anticipated game than that, and might be just as far off, probably a little further, is The Elder Scrolls 6. Like, why not put that in here if you're going to put the Witcher 3
Why not put Mass Effect 5? Why not put Kingdom Hearts 4? Why not like it's just you can just put anything you want in there. Why not put that next Shadow of the Colossus creator game? Like it's silly, but yeah. So Fable, if I had like a runner up, I was gonna say Fable and Gears of War E-Day because, like I don't know, I absolutely Wolverine and Requiem here. 007, I'm a little bit surprised. I mean that one's so question it, but
it's so close. I feel like that might be why that one hit. But yeah, I think that I actually don't think, other than what Xbox has lined up, and funny enough, Capcom, I don't know a lot of games that are coming out next year. There's Onimusha.
Onimusha. Yeah. That's like true. I guess, yeah.
Big heavy hitters, other than what's here, and then what Xbox, we know they've got a ton of stuff lined up, but PlayStation doesn't have. I mean, they've got Saros. Yeah. I would say that. Actually, I would, if Witcher and Grand Theft Auto 4 got swapped out, I would have put in Fable and or Gears of War E-Day and Saros. That's what I would say. Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, we agree. Grand Theft Auto 6 will probably take it.
I can't imagine that it won't. It's not my most anticipated game, but I think it's everyone else's.
That's a conversation we could have at some point. I'll just address Best Adaptation really quick, but I don't know if you got much to say on this. There's Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, the Devil May Cry anime, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, Last of Us Season 2, Until Dawn. Do you know what was snubbed from this category, Josh?
I heard someone talking about it. Sonic 3 was...
Sonic 3.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I heard it was good and definitely deserving of being on this list, if not the best.
Yeah, potentially. Like, more so than Until Dawn, from what I hear. Admittedly, I'm going off total word of mouth. I've only seen Devil May Cry. But, like, yeah, word of mouth, Sonic 3 deserved to be here way more than Until Dawn. It was a December release, but we see Indiana Jones come up a couple times, so I don't know. Just a quick shout out to it, but otherwise, cool, whatever. But anyway.
Yeah, I kind of hope Splinter Cell wins just because I want to see Splinter Cell come back, so I hope that series is successful. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, this is the category that in our previous video, it was said that like you're like, I got no idea on this, and I'm like, oh, I got plenty on this. So our first actual category, Best Multiplayer. For outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform, you got Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring Night Reign, Peak, Split Fiction. And I tell you what, as I'll kick this off, as the multiplayer guy, these were the 5 nominees.
Awesome.
I can vouch. Like these, like I can't. There's some things I could have pictured wiggling in, but these are literally the 5 nominees. I think this is perfect for multiplayer. I think, Josh, what do you feel about like Peak being amongst like Split Fiction, Elden Ring, Battlefield 6? Like, does that?
I think it's awesome. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that like. I feel like this year there were a few surprise hits but maybe they weren't multiplayer games, because I was thinking like the year started off with Pal World, which I don't think is multiplayer. Well, it might be, but anyways, like I'm not surprised to see a game that was on nobody's radar at the beginning of the year, and then it released and was a surprise hit, like I said, and is here, because that just seems to be happening a lot. I mean, Arc Raiders is kind of like that, but I think Arc Raiders was on people's radar. So anyways, like I think we're going to see more of that, like see games like Peak that come out. I think people are just tired of these AAA bloated games, and when a lean, really fun indie experience comes out that catches on like wildfire, I'm glad to see that makes the list.
Yeah, $8 too. It's like an $8 game.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and it sold like crazy too, so that's really cool. So yeah, I think just a shout out to Peak. In fact, Josh, I don't know from word of mouth, do you have anything to say about this? If there's like something you feel is missing, snub or will win?
No, I definitely don't. I'm just glad that this list doesn't have like nothing against these games, but I'm glad that like Fortnite isn't on the list, and that Destiny's not on the list, and that Call of Duty's not on the list. Like these juggernauts that are just persistent and here all the time. Arc Raiders is a new thing. Peak is a new thing. Split Fiction, incredibly creative. Battlefield 6 is on the comeback, which is cool to see. And so yeah, I think it's a pretty solid list. But having not really played any of these, I can't speak to them from a gameplay perspective.
So, all right, here's where I come in because I'm a multiplayer guy, and like of these games, I've only played Split Fiction and Battlefield 6, but I've like totally been studying the other three.
Nice. And
so I feel well versed in all these. Night Rain's definitely to me the weakest link here, which is shocking to say because it's FromSoft, but it's like it's a big take on multiplayer for them. But I will say I don't think anything was snubbed, as I said. Hope to win. I have to say, even though Battlefield 6 is like my favorite game of this list personally, I kind of want to see Peak win. I think that would be like such a moment for like the indie game scene. And it like, I don't think it would be out of line to say it could deserve it, but like, I feel like honestly, Battlefield 6, Arc Raiders, Peak, Split Fiction, any of those four, I don't think it should go to Night Rain personally, but I just feel like Peak would be the cool story, but I think will win will be Arc Raiders. I think Arc Raiders will win just because it's gotten so much momentum. Like Battlefield 6 was huge, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And Peak was huge, don't get me wrong. And Split Fiction was a contender for Game of the Year, supposedly. But multiplayer experience, I feel like Arc Raiders is kind of pushing things a little bit, and people are saying like it's the best multiplayer game I've played in like a decade or something, so which is crazy. So I'm going to guess Arc Raiders will win, but I'll root for Peak. Or Battlefield 6.
And even though I'm not the multiplayer guy and I didn't play it, I did think of a snub here, and that's did Helldivers 2, was that this year or was that last year?
That was last year. Yeah.
Okay.
And it got nominated last year. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's multiplayer. Sports and racing, I think this one might be nothing too much to say. We got esports, FC26, F125, Mario Kart World, Rematch, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I will bring it up really quick though, Josh, because these back three, they're something different. They're not like realistic sports games, Mario Kart, Rematch, and Sonic Racing. I think it'll be really interesting to see Sonic Racing triumph over Mario Kart World.
I kind of hope it happens. And I think I don't think Mario Kart World's going to win this by any stretch, but I think Sonic Racing Cross Worlds could win it.
It's the mainstream appeal though, man. That's what I worry about. Because I feel like Sonic Racing is the critic choice, but Mario Kart World, it's like everybody played.
Yeah, but I don't remember hearing anybody saying that Mario Kart World was like it was kind of a disappointment to most people.
It's good, but it's not great. Like
yeah.
It's not $80. It's not $80. Yeah.
And you are right. Yeah. Maybe not as many people played Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, but I just hope, I hope that FC26 doesn't win it. Not to throw shade at it, but it's just like I feel like these other games,
I'll tell you
at least for my taste, would be better.
I'll tell you what though, I'm gonna freak out if Rematch wins. Because
did you play it?
I played it. It's pretty awesome, but it's not. It's like it's one of those games that's like. It's a 7 out of 10 that I love. It's one of those, where it's like, I can acknowledge this could have done a lot of things better, but I love the foundation.
Nice.
Yeah, so I liked it a lot. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to chime in too much on this because I'm not well versed. I just think it'd be neat to see Sonic Racing triumph over Mario Kart World. So
that's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah. Best sim and strategy. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform. I'm not sure if we have much to say here, but there's 6 nominees, which means it was pretty close. There's Final Fantasy Tactics, Jurassic World 3, Evolution 3, sorry. Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Tempest Rising, The Alters, and 2 Point Museum. I don't know, Josh, if you got any comment, go for it, but
I just, based off of the kind of the temperature out there, I'm surprised Civilization 7 got nominated. It seemed like that wasn't nearly as good as, from what I heard, Civilization 6. But no, I have 2 Point Museum in my backlog. I want to try Jurassic World Evolution 3, but I can't really speak to these games. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, same here. I will say Alters. I've heard a lot of cool thing about Alters. Actually, Josh, I feel like Alters is a you game. I don't know why, but I feel like you would like it.
It does interest me, but I'm just like, strategy games or sim games a lot of them pique my interest, but I never seem to pull the trigger on them. I will say the Alters, if I feel like one game kind of got snubbed in a lot of the other categories, I feel like the Alters might be one of those games.
Ooh.
Just based off of what I heard, I feel like it's it seems
the performance, man. One guy having to play multiple versions of himself. Yeah.
Yeah. And just a creative idea. The premise of the game is like, so I'd never heard of anything like it.
That's a whole thing. I think I'll try to remember to bring it back up when we get to game direction. But like, I did hear somebody say like, it'd be cool to change that category, and Alters would be a neat shout for that. So anyway, I'll say it for then though, but I want to bring up Best Family because I want to say something about this. So Best Family Game, we got Donkey Kong Bonanza, Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split Fiction. Another one that there is 6 nominees. Do you feel like something is either missing or shouldn't be here?
I don't know that there's anything off the top of my head that's missing.
Okay.
I do think that with 6 nominees, I feel like 2 Lego games is a little weird, but
yeah. I mean, they are very different games. I will say that. Like Lego Party, it's an impersonation of Mario Party, and Lego Voyagers is just like a co-op puzzle adventure game to go through. So, Split Fiction feels weird to me being here. Like, it doesn't bug me, but it just feels a little bit out of place to me. Like, just because it's split screen, it's a family game. I don't know.
How, for lack of a better word, mature or adult was the storyline in Split Fiction?
Pretty mature. I would say more mature than It Takes Two.
Okay.
Like, It Takes Two is way more of a family game than Split Fiction, and maybe it was nominated that year. I don't remember. But no, Split Fiction is much more, I wouldn't say much like M-rated. It's definitely a T-rated game if it is, but
yeah.
I don't know if it's T-rated actually, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel, I'm not so opposed to it. It just feels a little bit weird to me, especially there being 6 here. But this is, I don't feel anything got snubbed, but this is no contest Donkey Kong Bonanza.
For me too, 100%. Love Donkey Kong, man. What a game.
Josh, I didn't even bother to ask you. You have a Switch too. Oh, that's right. I followed your Twitter. I saw the whole thing happen in real time. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. But this is actually funny. This is the other reason I want to bring up family. It's not because of Split Fiction. This is the only other category that Donkey Kong Bonanza is nominated.
Yeah, I found that very interesting. Like that, I mean, it got a Game of the Year nod and nothing else other than family game. And I mean, the game is amazing. It's just a notch below Super Mario Odyssey for me, which is saying something. Like, I didn't realize that it basically is a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey in a way, like the game. The way the game
it really is. It's an indirect sequel. Yeah, I think Bonanza. Just a quick word about that because I thought it was amazing too. But I said this in my reaction that I feel Bananza is doing what I thought Astrobot would do last year. And what I mean by that is I thought Astrobot deserved to be nominated for Game of the Year and everything, maybe even win it, and it did. But I was like, but it didn't really specialize in anything else. And yet it got nominated for like action adventure and music and I think 2 other awards. And I was like, whoa. But Bananza this year, I'm like, okay, Bananza's doing what I thought Astrobot was going to do last year. That's what I mean. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I am surprised Bananza, if I actually thought it might have, but if it didn't get nominated, like you said, for action adventure, I'm surprised. Like, game is a total.
Well, yeah, we should bring that up because I definitely want to bring that up. But yeah, we both agree best family game. Bananza will take that. But anyway, I have zero to say about best fighting. I'll just shout it out though for the best game design, primarily around head-to-head combat. You got 2XKO, which is an early access thing, I think. By the way, correct me on that if I'm wrong. Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and Virtua Fighter Revo World Stage. I feel like this category, they did their best to fill it this year.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, I feel like the only, not that these aren't good games, but the only like real heavy hitter I see here is Virtua Fighter 5. Like, and that's not, I mean, I guess. I
mean, 2XKO. No. Like, I will shout that. Like, I think that's personally to me the strongest thing here, but like it I don't know. I just it's weird having 2 collections in, and I don't know the situation with Virtua Fighter 5 if that's like a totally new game or if it's a redux or something. I don't know. It just feels weird this year. But
yeah, and what I just said. I'm sure a lot of people who are fighting game fans in the comments are gonna say something because I don't know much about fighting games. I would. It's
a totally new game. Yeah.
Yeah, I would pick Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection just because that is one of the Mortal Kombat 2 is one of the few fighting games I actually got really good at back when I was a kid. Loved that game.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to bring up to me, it just kind of felt like they were filling it this year. So we'll see what happens next year when Sifu 2 is nominated. All right. Okay. Best RPG. This one is interesting. Yeah, well, now we're back. Okay, so for the best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. That's interesting. They wiggled that in. You got Avowed, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, The Outer Worlds 2. Shout out to Obsidian for getting 2 games nominated for one category. Oh my God. That's wild. I will say, like, deserved or not, that's pretty wild to be a studio that's like, we got nominated twice for one category. But, Josh, how do you feel about this? Do you feel anything doesn't belong and maybe something got snubbed in exchange? Or have heard something you thought was interesting?
I mean, I'm trying to think of like the RPGs that came out this year, and I can't think of anything that I feel like got snubbed here. I mean, there's got to be something because I feel like there's got to be an RPG that came out this year that reviewed better than The Outer Worlds 2. Not that it reviewed poorly, but I don't know that it reviewed like Game Awards
more than Avowed, because I feel like Outer Worlds 2 did slightly better than Avowed. So I'm on another side of that.
I mean,
but
that's a good point. Yeah, you have a point there. My Xbox crapped out, so I didn't get a chance to play, and I don't play games on my PC, so I didn't play Avowed. But it looked very interesting to me, whereas The Outer Worlds didn't look as interesting to me. But yeah, you might have a point there. I do think that, not to get too far ahead, but I do think this category is a 2-horse race, and one of those horses is a lot faster than the other.
Right. No, I mean, yeah. So are we? Well, actually, this is interesting. So actually, Josh, I think I get what you're saying. Here's where I'll throw one of my curveballs I alluded to earlier at you. For me, I'll just say my take on this. Snub. Somebody brought up people were bringing up Trails of the Sky first chapter or something. which is kind of a remake or whatever. And Digimon Story, Time Traveler, people brought that up too. But I would say Digimon Time Traveler reviewed somewhat as good as Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed did, and probably not as many people touched it. But those are two fair, noteworthy bring-ups for RPG.
Honestly,
yeah. And there's some that debate Monster Hunter Wilds, like that's more of an action RPG thing or something, but I get it. I get why it's here. You customize your gear and stuff, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but here's where I throw my curveball. Oh, sorry. What's up?
I was just going to say that the response that Digimon Time Story, I always forget the full name of that game, got, maybe that should be here, because that game surprised, I think, a lot of people, and I think it expanded the audience of that game, even if just a little bit, which I think is saying something. So yeah,
I feel that's the biggest Digimon game we've gotten in like a decade, honestly. So yeah, I agree with that. But so here's why I throw my curveball at you. I personally feel it's a little bit weird expeditions here.
Really?
I don't think, like, I'm not mad at it, but it's like, when I break it down, it is an RPG in the sense that you make your build, you make your characters, you make the way they're gonna fight. That's true. So if that's the big part of an RPG, which it is, I get it, absolutely. I mean, that's why Monster Hunter Wilds is here. So it's not that I'm mad about it. It's more so that when I look at like Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed, I see, and especially Kingdom Come Deliverance, I see games that you are shaping the narrative and your build. You are literally becoming a character that you are creating, so to speak. And in that sense, I feel like those three are the most role-playing style rather than it only being combat. Because I feel like combat, we do that so much, you know? I'm not objecting it, but it's just like one of those ones that I'm like, I guess it's RPG, but mostly because of the Pictos, whatever. But
that's
my curveball.
Like having me being old, you know, the first RPGs that I played were like Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VI. And
that's a good point.
Those Final Fantasy VI, I feel like it was a huge influence on Clair Obscur. Those old Final Fantasy games. I mean, if you take like the Overworld, for example, it basically is like a modernized version of those old 16-bit RPG overworlds. And but in terms, I've always thought that the term role-playing game was a little like, what does that really mean? Like, are you role-playing, like you're saying, shaping the narrative, or are you just building out your character?
I mean, and luckily they list it here, like best game design with rich player customization. So like, sure, you know.
Yes.
But, so go ahead. But yeah.
Oh, well, no, actually, I don't want to spill the beans just yet if you've got more to go.
Oh, okay. Well, no, all I'll say is in terms of so I already mentioned the snub potentially, but like, I'm not too opposed to everything that's here. I get the arguments for Digimon and Trails in the Sky. Oh, another one that people shout out was 100-Line Defense Academy or something. That was another shout. Yeah. Basically, the JRPGs, like the JRPGs that came out this year, got screwed. That's what people are saying. So,
is 100-Line Defense more of a like narrative? Like I thought that was more of like a narrative.
You know what we should have said earlier, Josh? Actually, when we did Best Sim Strategy, 100-Line Defense should have came up in Best Sim Strategy. It should have came up because that is a tactics game or whatever. But whatever. Anyway, literally, there's a game titled Tactics in there. But anyway, but yeah, you make choices in that games, to my knowledge, and I don't know, like I don't know the JRPGs. Anyways, so the snub factors, but in terms of who I'm rooting for to win, admittedly, like to me, it's both will and rooting for. I feel like Expedition and Kingdom Come are like,
yes,
I feel like it's so tough for me to say. I feel like Kingdom Come, to me, deserves it the most. Not because it's the better game, but because RPG. That game, I've heard, is doing to RPGs what freaking Baldur's Gate 3 did for CRPGs. Like, dude, you could You could talk to people however you want. You could approach a circumstance however you want. You could change how you fight. And like, I don't know. I think I just convinced myself I'm rooting for Kingdom Come for this, especially because Clair Obscur got nominated for everything else.
Yeah.
So I'll say I root for Kingdom Come, but I just don't know if it will take it. That's where I stand.
Yeah.
How about you?
I think that Clair Obscur will win it. That's the faster horse of the two that I was referring to. But okay. I think that if Kingdom Come stands a shot here, and I do think that it's either one of those two, that it would win because there's sometimes like I mean, Clair Obscur we know is going to win a lot. Well, I guess we don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to win a lot. And some people might not throw Kingdom Come like a sympathy vote, but just be like, it's got to win something. Let's give it this. So it could get votes along those lines that might push it over. But I just would be very surprised if they called out anything other than Clair Obscur Expedition 33 for this.
Here's your category, Josh. Best action adventure. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, you got Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Hollow Knight Silksong, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Split Fiction.
I'm glad
Snubs?
that
Snubs, anything? Or happy? Go ahead. Yeah.
Like I guess Silent Hill. I don't know.
For action adventure?
I mean, yeah, I guess it's survival horror, but I'm like trying to think if I know Silent Hill did get nominated for something. I don't know what it got nominated, but it's like, what is
it got? Yeah.
Like, what does survival horror? What category does that really fit into?
I mean, if I recall previously, like Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, and Resident Evil 8, I think they made it into this category before.
Yeah,
I think they did. So yeah, go with that. But yeah,
And I will say there was a game I don't think it deserves a nomination here, but one of my favorite games of 2025 was a game called Atomfall. I don't know if you played that, but
oh, dude, that's a good shout. I didn't play it, but I heard that too. That's a good shout. Wow, yeah.
I loved that game. Like, it was very, very creative in how it structured the kind of first-person action adventure. So
Josh,
I would give that a shout out.
Sidebar. If you love that game, you should really finish Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
We're going to say that every year.
Yeah.
I was actually like, while I was like rewatching our stuff, I heard you say like, yeah, I started it and the ship again. I was like, that boy still hasn't gone back.
You're right. And that game is right up my alley, especially I got to play that game.
Anyway, but action adventure. This is where I think Donkey Kong Bonanza should have got in here. Personally, I just don't know what. I just don't think I know what I would swap out.
I mean, make this a category with 6 nominations. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Like that's the other thing. If there's 5 nominees and these were the pretty unanimous nominees, it's usually just 6 if it was pretty close. So yeah, I guess these were the unanimous 5, but I'm like, I feel like Split Fiction or Ghost. I don't know. That's tough. I don't know what I would have swapped out for it, but because if Donkey Kong Bonanza was in here, it might have won. But apparently not. So
I mean, and I think that, like, I do think Donkey Kong Bonanza is an action adventure, and I think that game is way better than, for example, Indiana Jones or Ghost of Yotei. So, like, yeah, I think it should be here.
I think, I will say Ghost of Yotei, yes. Indiana Jones' Great Circle, yes, with a bit of an asterisk, because I feel like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is like the definition of this category.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like, it is the definition of this category, and it turned out great. Did you get to that this year? Actually, I didn't.
I did. It was one of the first games I played that came out this year.
Because you were anticipating that, yeah.
I really, really liked it, but I have to say it didn't meet my expectations.
Okay.
But as far as being an Indiana Jones experience, they nailed it. But it didn't quite hit like that, like Uncharted or Tomb Raider level of action adventure to me.
Yes, it was a very different. Yeah, it wasn't like the. Yeah, I'm with you. I was expecting that, but eventually, I don't know. Like it's a whole thing. But yeah, I shifted my mindset, and when I did that, I was like, okay, actually, I get what this game is now, and I kind of love it. But anyway, yeah. So I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is probably the snub. I'm probably with you. Maybe Indie, Split Fiction, or Ghost of Yotei. But in terms of hope and will win this, what are you feeling?
I think Death Stranding 2 is going to win. And
okay,
if I had to pick, I mean, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
My snub is also my personal would have picked. Yeah.
I mean, if I had to pick of these, I'd pick Ghost of Yotei. I really liked Ghost of Yotei, actually. I thought it was quite a good game, but I'm just getting a little tired of the same open world, PlayStation / Ubisoft formula.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not to like sidebar, kind of like earlier we brought someone up, but like, Donkey Kong Bonanza actually. Do you feel like Ghost of Yotei? I was a little bit surprised to see how many things it got nominated for, but then when I think about the categories, I'm like, I could see it actually, but I'm just a little bit surprised.
I think. So going off the fact that these are nominated by like the gaming industry and how many people played it has a lot to do with it. I do think that there is a PlayStation bias because everybody and their mother plays PlayStation exclusives, like in the industry, true. So I think that has a lot to do with why Ghost of Yotei. I mean, I think it's the only first party developed PlayStation game that came out this year, I think.
They've published things, but
Death Stranding is that's a PlayStation exclusive, and it is but it's developed by Kojima Productions. But
well, anyway, but that's a good point. That I didn't even think of that, because you're right. Yeah, how many people played something can definitely affect. That's why I brought up the whole Mario Kart World versus Sonic Racing thing earlier. Like that can affect things. But of the things here, I admit I'm kind of stuck. I'll agree. I think Death Stranding 2 will win, but I'm something about like, it's not the Xbox guy in me. It's just, I kind of want to see Indiana Jones win it for some reason. I think it's the controversy for some reason. I feel like it's like, man, this game came out in December and it managed to win action adventure. It's not going to happen, but I feel like I'm rooting for the chaos of it happening, kind of a thing. But I think Death Stranding 2 will take it though. But and I wouldn't be mad either. I wouldn't be mad if Indiana Jones got it or if anybody else got it. I would be pretty okay with anything here, to be honest. But
I wouldn't be surprised if Hollow Knight took it. I just feel like the response to Hollow Knight, it wasn't quite. Not that it didn't live. It just, there was so much conversation about how hard that game was when it came out that I feel like that might hold it back a little bit.
But it's action adventure, Josh. It's action adventure.
Yeah.
I will say I'm glad Split Fiction got in there though, because I definitely think that's a great action adventure nominee. Like I thought that game was sick. So you didn't play it?
No. I've still
okay.
The only Haze-like game
you got to have somebody to partner with to play it. Yeah. I almost reached out to you actually, but one of my buddies reached out to me for it because Josh and I played It Takes Two together. And one of my buddies just was like, hey, I'm getting it. Will you play it with me? I'm like, yes. But
understood.
No, I loved it. Anyway, how about instead of the adventure, we got best action game. So for best action game, best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat, got Battlefield 6, Doom the Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Dude, I will say, when we were doing our fantasy, like I did do another fantasy draft this year with two different peeps, and Rob and I, we were like hoping to God we could draft Gaiden and Dark Ages. Like, because those two games are literally just all about kicking ass. That's all they're like. Ninja Gaiden 4 doesn't have that good of a story, but it kicks so much ass. Doom the Dark Ages, it's aight, but it kicks so much ass. And it's like, that's all those two games are about. So I'm glad they're here. If we're just talking about games that are super duper combat, I don't feel like anything was really. I'm totally cool with all these. Like Shinobi, maybe swap out, but I can't really think of what. What do you think? Is there anything missing here?
Do not swap out Shinobi, dude. That game was. I love that game.
All right, perfect. Then they're perfect. Would you say like so Shinobi, is there like a skill tree, or you like it's just total, it's not platform action, it's just slay action? Because I'm not well versed in it, so
it is, but the level design was so good. Gosh, now I have to think like back to,
because if we're thinking action, like action, then
I mean it's definitely like it has like a really good combo system. Like I usually don't like combo based combat where you're like you have to memorize all the buttons to press. And this is different. It just has it's hard to explain. It's got a really unique combo system that's really satisfying and simple to kind of get your mind wrapped around. But I will also say that the level design. So I don't know. Maybe it's more. Feels weird to say it's more of an action adventure because it is like it's a ninja game, no doubt. But Shinobi, it's beautiful too. Like beautiful game.
I've been preaching for years, man. I want there to be a game design or a level design category or something. But Psychonauts 2, I would have put that in that year for that. But okay, no, I didn't doubt it from what I hear. Like absolutely. So, and I'm glad you played it because that helps balance it out. Since like I apparently I'm the action gamer because I've played everything here but Shinobi. I can vouch for all these. He's super fit. I'm glad Battlefield 6 is here because just like what I said before, that game just kicks ass. I think Hades 2 absolutely should be here because it's literally an action roguelike, and it does it fantastically. I will say, while Hades 2, it's got the most praise and stuff, I feel like I would want something else here. I would hope something else here to win, because I feel like Hades 2 is building upon what Hades 1 did. Now, some could say that for almost everything here, but like, I just feel like it's maybe I take that back because Melonway, whatever her name is, I didn't play Hades 1, but from what I hear, her moveset is so much more diverse than the first game's character. So maybe that's fair. So maybe I have to take that back. People can vouch if they played the first game, but
I was actually gonna I almost commented back whether or not Hades 2 should have gotten nominated for best. I wouldn't put it as an RPG, but like it has to get nominated for something.
No, you don't really I mean, there's I don't. Nah. It's an action roguelike. Like the RPG stuff is focused. That's why I was talking about Expedition earlier. Anyway. But in terms of this category, I don't think anything was left out. In terms of, man, that's tough. So obviously you might be rooting for Shinobi. Or what do you?
I mean, I am, but I think what will win. I do think Hades is going to win this one.
I could see it.
Maybe like I do think Battlefield 6, like a lot of people I think are high on that game just because it's made a comeback and it's kind of kicking COD's butt right now a little bit. But
man,
I don't see it getting. Yeah, I just feel like Hades, man.
I think I agree with you. I think Hades 2 will take it.
So that could hold it back. I mean, it's on PC too, but like
it's on PC too. I think that's what saves it there. But I think I'm with you. I think Hades 2 will win it. If I'm rooting for anything, I don't know. I feel like this is one of those categories. I feel like all 5 of these, I wouldn't be mad if anybody took it, honestly. Because I get why all 5 of them are here. I guess I will kind of root for Doom: The Dark Ages just because I like the medieval stuff that they tried in that game, and when that flow hits, it hits. I love the shield stuff. I didn't like the dragon and giant robot too much, but like aside from those moments, I think the shield alone is probably why I'm rooting for it, because that shield was way more fun than I thought it would be. And it works so good for just action stuff. And it's Doom. Like, Doom was a lock for this category. I'm like, if you make a new Doom game, it's in action. So
yeah.
But anyways, So I'm with you. I think Hades 2 will win, but probably rooting for Doom. Yeah. Okay, we are moving along. Best VR. I don't know if I have much to say for this one. VR, we got Alien Rogue Incursion, Arcane Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR, The Midnight Walk. I will shout out Midnight Walk. I saw that game in some state of plays. Looks super cool, and I'm glad to see it here. So
I played it. It's awesome. I played the flat screen version, but it is definitely like, I feel like probably more people played Alien Rogue Incursion, and I don't feel like that game was, I feel like it was pretty well reviewed. So I feel like that could win here. But dude, the Midnight Walk, if you like narrative based, it's almost a walking sim. Not quite. There is gameplay, but if you don't mind that, like the graphical, like the art style, alone makes that game worth playing, and just the writing is really, really good. The atmosphere is ridiculous. It's got some genuinely terrifying moments in it. Like really
regarding the atmosphere, do you feel like, since we're talking about VR, is there sometimes you're like, man, I kind of wish I was in VR here?
No, that's a game that I'm really glad I'm not playing this in VR, because there's these stealth sections, and if you get spotted, the creatures that you're stealthing around come straight at you. And if I was in VR, I would nope out of that headset so fast.
Jump through your window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. No, I think that's a great shout. But yeah, I there's nothing much to say here. Potentially like the same category here. Best mobile game. You got Destiny Rising, Persona 5, The Phantom X, Sonic Rumble, Yumazumi, Pretty Derby, and Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves was nominated last year for this. Come on. I hate it when they do that. I don't like that. But I will say, maybe just because of the friend groups I have, there are so many people that preach Pretty Derby, man. But I'm not touching it. I don't want to be sucked in.
Yeah, the last thing I need is to be hooked on a game on my phone. I mean, games on my TV do. But Josh, this is an Xbox. That's true.
You can finally play Xbox because your Xbox is broken.
I have played cloud streaming on my phone. It works. I gotta say, it works.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so this is where things are going to get weird. So our next two categories, we got Best Debut Indie and Best Independent Game. This is a little bit tricky because, okay, you know what? Should we do Best Debut first or Best Indie first?
Let's do Best Debut. Well, let me see what's nominated for Best Debut. I'm tempted to say that. Oh, wait. This is what we just saw.
Yeah. And then...
Oh, man, that is a stacked category.
Yeah. Okay, let's just talk about Best Debut. So Best Debut, this is important, for the best debut game created by an independent studio. Maybe let's just briefly talk about this, because these are 4 games that, by the way, insert story here. These are 4 games these are the first games from a developer ever. You got Blueprints, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Despelote, Dispatch. There was a 5th in this category that apparently the developer came out and he was like, hey, I've made games before. I published them. They're just under different studio names or something. So I'm out. That's pretty cool. I will say that's a pretty cool moment. And also like questionable as to like, okay, do people know what they're nominating? I don't know. But
yeah, it is weird though, because like, that makes sense for a game developed by one person, but the minute you add like more people, then you have a studio. Like I guarantee you, everybody in Clair Obscur's studio, I can't remember what their Sandfall Studios. Yep. Everyone at that studio has made a video game before, but that studio has never made a video game before. You know.
So Josh, actually, while let's talk about this while we're on Best Debut Indie Game. Let's talk about that. So like Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, you mentioned a lot of the people there have made games before, which that's a thing at indie studios. Like that's a thing. They've made a game before. But what I think is an interesting conversation is, how do you feel about, like, spoilers? It's in Best Independent Game as well. So how do you feel about that? Like as a best debut indie game and best independent game for Clair Obscur?
Best independent game's a little weird because I feel like they got a lot of help from Xbox when Xbox featured them in their show. I know they didn't publish the game, but like that's then again, so did Blueprints because Blueprints was featured in a State of Play.
There you go. Yep.
So maybe that doesn't hold water, but it is an independent studio, and they did kind of like, a lot of people there, I guess, left Ubisoft and they formed their own thing. They decided we're going to make this game. They didn't have the powers that be telling them what type of game to make. So in that sense, like it probably deserves to be nominated for best indie game. But it definitely deserves best debut. I mean, Sandfall Studios has never made a game. They built a team. They put this
Everybody's
out.
Going to know them now. Everybody's going to know them now.
And man, their next game is going to be super anticipated.
Well, so and maybe that's the thing. Like if this category's name was changed to like best debut studio, then I would instantly say Expedition 33. I would instantly do that because like that's going to be a studio everybody's going to be paying attention to now. But where I stand on the whole thing is like, because it's just weird because technically Baldur's Gate 3 could have been nominated for not this category of best independent because they're independent.
Yeah.
But the budget for that game was like 100 million or something. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, they hired Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis, Charlie Cox, they had a budget and also like the whole like small 30 team. Believe me, this is not me downplaying. It's just like I don't necessarily have a problem with it. It's just one of those things that feels weird to me because of just how much backing they had for this project. They had
and I don't know where they got
backing. It. Kepler Interactive, they're the publishers, and I don't know. They gave them everything, I guess. I don't know.
Wait. So this game, because I didn't know that it did have a publisher then.
Yes,
because I
absolutely.
thought that was what.
It's the same publisher that published Rematch as well. And there was another hit. Kepler Interactive this year hit hard. There was another game too that they published, but yeah.
In that case, but then I don't necessarily know that it belongs here because like I thought for some reason I thought that that Sandfall just kind of put that game out.
No, I mean that's the thing.
I see.
Most of the time, indie games have publishers. Like this is what I mean. This is a whole conversation that like maybe we have to cut off. But like Ad Hoc Studios here, they did Dispatch. They self-published it. Self-developed.
Right.
That could be another category. I think the Golden Joystick Awards do that, where they're like best self-published game. I think that's literally a category there. Great category. But yeah, to me, it's just like I could see the arguments for both sides because technically it was an independent game. It's weird to me because they had so much backing to do it. So
yeah,
I don't know. But I want to kind of save who would win this because I feel like it's going to be Expedition. But I'll be kind of pleasantly surprised if Dispatch gets it because they're not an independent game. I'll spoil that for you. But I don't know. I could go with anything here, honestly. Should I just go to best independent game and we could talk about that, or?
Yeah. As long as Blueprints is nominated for best independent game, which I believe it is.
The suspense. Okay, so Josh, remember I said earlier I have 2 clips to show you. I have one more clip to show you. So this is another moment I just wanted to highlight.
Like space exploration of almost like a Mass Effect style space exploration. So really cool. I don't know if you played any of these or if you have any thoughts.
So I'm not too much about the indie scene. I pay attention to what people say and so on, like things heard about it. And yeah, I've been hearing crazy stuff about Disco, like for real. But yeah, actually
I wanted to play that because earlier I had a you comment. This is a me comment thing. It's crazy how this year I heard that when I was like working out earlier. I was listening to this conversation. I'm like, man, I've shifted. That's so cool. It's like 6 years later. Now I'm like super into indie games.
Dude, indie games are where it's at.
Indie games are where it's at. And that's like, I just wanted to shout that out to you that like the progress that I'm like, man, this is the year of the indies. And I'm just like, I'm glad that I've shifted that so much. And the nominees for best independent game with that are Absolem, Ball Pit, Blueprints. There you go. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. A category with 6 nominees, and boy, there could have been 12. Yeah. Where's peak freaking like I have a whole list I could have thought of, but like, man, there's a lot that's not here. I have a feeling that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I was mentioning Adamfall. Like, that's a game that
Adamfall.
Again, I don't know if it's as good as these games, but I certainly loved it. And there's another game that just came out recently that I feel like might have made this list if it wasn't released in the last couple of weeks. What is it? I'm on. Have you heard of the Seance of Blake Manor?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
That's another game that I feel like this year is just every year I feel like it's stacked.
Bionic Bay, dude. Bionic Bay is so good. That's another shout, man. Like, there's so many.
In that.
You did? Oh, dude, I love that game. That's a really cool game. That's awesome. A great game. But that's what I mean. It's like this year, this was the bloodiest category to me. Like, we talk about snubs. There's so many things that could have been in here. I will say, I feel like Absalom and Ball Pit are the two that, like, man, I've heard fantastic things about both these games, honestly. And I get it. I'm not going to object it. I think there's plenty of things that could have been in there instead of those two, but I'm not too mad. And again, we just talked about Clair Obscur, but like, I'm not too mad at anything here. Again, I just feel weird about Clair Obscur, but like everything else, rock solid. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah. I just hope Blueprints wins. That's because I think this is the only category, and maybe debut, but I think that this is where it stands a chance.
My man. Like, either or, debut or independent, man. So I wanted to bring that up with you. That's why I was like, there was something I wanted to ask, but I'll wait till we get to a category. I was like, man, I really hope Josh played Blueprints, because I remember you were excited for that game. And I was like, that's the last time we talked, actually. I remember now. That was the last time we talked. We talked about a state of play, and you brought up how, like, that was the game you're looking forward to most. And I was like, that was my least favorite thing. Josh, I eat my words. Blueprints is so, I'm going to swear, sorry, folks, fucking good. It's so fucking good. Like, that was incredible.
It got off to a slow start for me, but there was one puzzle. It's a totally optional puzzle in the game. You don't even have to do it. But when you figure it out, that it like spans the entire mansion, and it's just like so mind blowing. I don't think there's another game that has blown my mind quite like Blueprints did. And just the way that
this
game
is why, man. That's why I was saying earlier, like, I do wish, I'm like getting ahead, but I wish game direction was kind of swapped out for a innovation category or game design or something like that. And I would have been like, put Blueprints in there. You make a roguelike 100%. Puzzle story game like that I've never seen this done before. Like, yeah.
That is like the definition of game direction to me. Like, this guy who developed that game, he had a vision, he had an idea, he started tinkering, he started making this game, and 8 years later, like, he just followed his vision and came out with this game. I mean, amazing.
Crazy. I will say though, I'll shout out Ball Pit. I've been on that lately, and it's this year's Balatro. It's so addicting, man. And I was very pleasantly surprised to see it, because like, I've been hearing it's been infecting a lot of journalists I follow, and lo and behold, this is the proof of that. So like, but I think I am with you. Okay. I am rooting for Blueprints. I think we're on the same page with that. Rooting for Blueprints. I think Hollow Knight Silksong wins.
Yeah. That's
where I sit.
Certainly more people played Hollow Knight.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But like, I feel like if we go back to the whole debut thing, I hope they're two different winners. I really hope. But like, debut, as we said, everybody's going to remember the name Sandfall Interactive. So I think that's fair. And for best independent game, I kind of want the winner to be somebody that really represents what a free spirit can do. And almost anything here qualifies for that. But I just feel like Hollow Knight Silksong, while it's a sequel, I feel like the industry is like, man, this is one of the few times a game that we have been drastically anticipating actually paid off.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Yeah. And it's like literally by 3 guys. We just said Blueprints was made by 1 guy, but Hollow Knight Silksong, they're like, we'll release it when we're ready. Just 3 guys working on it. So,
and $20, man.
$20. Yep. So, Or do you agree with that? Do you think we both said hope, but do you think Hollow Knight Silksong will win, or do you think somebody else will?
I think either. I'm trying to think. Like, so Hades kind of didn't get quite the attention that.
This could go any direction, man. I have to admit.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say, I feel like the hype for not that is what would win an award, but like just based on how many people played it, how many people were looking forward to it. Oh man.
I think it's because it's early access. Like people kind of already were playing it, that were in love
I'm on board
with
it. I'm on board with Silksong. I also think that a lot of people might share your perspective on Clair Obscur. Like for one, that game is going to win some other awards, so it doesn't need extra love here. And some people might be like, yeah, indie, I don't know about that. So for that reason,
that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Yeah, I hope that, because I admit I would be totally fine if any of these win. But yeah, Blueprints hope, Silksong probably will. All right. Our next category, community support. Another one that I don't know if I have too much to say, even though I'm the multiplayer guy, but I think there's also ongoing. There's Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. I will shout out Helldivers 2 here. I got it this year. I freaking love that game, Josh. I freaking love that game. But I can't really vouch for community support stuff, so I that's about it. So any comment?
Yeah,
or are we good?
No, I'm good on this.
All right. Same thing. Maybe I could talk a smidge more about best ongoing, which is like to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player's experience over time. A lot of things repeated here. You got Final Fantasy 16, 14. Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, as always, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals, December release, No Man's Sky. When I saw Marvel Rivals, I'm like, dude, that was released in December. Yeah. That was released in December last year. I'm like, that wasn't in best multiplayer, huh? But
yeah, that's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. I think everything in multiplayer deserved to be there, but yeah, Rivals, that's a good shout. And man, they constantly update that game. I think Helldivers 2 does great as well with that. And obviously Fortnite is just the unstoppable machine that just keeps on churning.
Yeah.
So I don't know. These all are fair to be here, but I got no idea. So mostly just a shout at Marvel Rivals. I'm glad that got in someplace. You good?
Yeah, I'm good on this one too.
All right.
Not my expertise.
I'm curious if you got anything on this. Games for Impact, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. You got Consume Me, Despelote, which was in the debut category earlier, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wanderstop. I am familiar with these back three. I'm not familiar with the front two, but I do want to note Despelote was in Best Debut, so maybe that's a part of that. But yeah, I don't know if you got any thoughts on this.
One of the podcasts I listen to is the MinMax Show. Every week, I love that podcast, and those guys and gals loved Despelote. Like they talked that game up, so I know that there's a lot there. It's kind of like, from what I get, it's a narrative based, as a few of these are, kind of adventure game. But
and it's not even because the thing is that these I think Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, it didn't review well, but games for Impact, so it's like ones that really left you thinking about something perhaps, or just like had something to say that you felt did well. I will say, like, I played South of Midnight. I don't feel that game had something super great to say per se. I just feel like what it did was the message. Like it is the most authentic South experience I have ever seen in the gaming medium. And for that, maybe that's why it's here, is that like, it's not because like, oh, African culture, or whatever. No, it's the South. It's about being in the South and like that style, the music, the characters, the setting. It's like, yeah. So for that, maybe that's why that's here, but I don't feel I had a big message to say. But anyway, so I don't know who will take this. I have no idea, but that's,
based off of everything I heard about Despelote, I wouldn't be surprised if that wins it.
Yeah. I'm curious what the message is though. Like that's the thing. Whenever I hit these, I'm like, what are you saying though? What are you saying? I'll tell you what shouldn't be here is To a T. To a T.
Yeah.
Don't even look into it, man. Like, that is a game that they are like, let's have fun with disability, huh, guys?
That's hilarious.
I actually don't think that's a problem, but I would have laughed if To a T was here, man. Because I'm like, okay, people got it. We can have fun with it, but anyway.
Did you play it or because I didn't play it, but I
did.
Okay. Isn't there a message in there though? Just like about
no, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like no, so it actually does, in my opinion, like it could have been here, but like because it what I like about it, not to derail too much, but what I like about if it was in here is that they don't make it a mission. They don't try to beat you over the head with like, you should care about disabilities and how much that affects people. Like they try to make it so like, listen, people have unfortunate circumstances that they don't feel is a misfortune. They've gotten used to it. They figured it out, and you don't have to look down upon them all the time just because they have a handicap. In fact, they want you to treat them like they're a normal person. Like, that's what I feel they were trying to say, and that's why they were having so much fun with it. But I would have laughed if it was here, because I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have got that from that game, but I saw it. It's not a good game, but I saw the message. But anyway, innovation and accessibility, not too much here, but there's your Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's the only time it shows up.
Yeah. Hey, there's Adamfall.
And Adamfall. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Adamfall, Doom the Dark Ages, EA Sports FC 26, and South of Midnight for innovation and accessibility. Yeah, I get it for Doom the Dark Ages because like there's so much you could customize in that. I don't know what you do in Adamfall or Assassin's Creed that like accessibility.
I think if I recall, Adamfall lets you adjust a lot of the difficulty settings for different parts of the game, like combat, and maybe puzzles. There would not really be any puzzles, but I do feel like there were a lot of settings you could adjust, but I didn't get in there. I'm blessed to not have any accessibility issues, but I will say, just unrelated to this topic, Assassin's Creed Shadows was one of my more disappointing games of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was curious about that, but this is the one spot it got in. Okay. Let's keep going because we got more. And best performance, dude. Troy Baker made it in. All right.
I know. And he deserves it. Like
he does. Ben, for best performance, we got Ben Starr from Clair Obscur. We got Charlie Cox from Clair Obscur. Erika Ishii from Ghost of Yotei, Jennifer English from Clair Obscur, Kanatsu Kato from Silent Hill F, and Troy Baker from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. 3 people from Clair Obscur.
Yep. I mean, story is where that game excelled, and part of that is the acting. So, at least that's where it excelled for me.
And I don't personally feel there's some people that are like that's crazy that they would allow multiple people be nominated if they're from the same game. And I'm like, it's not really about that, though. It's about the performance, not the game.
Yeah.
The game's not being nominated here. It's the performance that's being nominated.
I have no issue with that.
I'm just glad that Troy made it in, man, because I was worried. I was worried that he was going to be forgotten when he was the talk of the town at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll take it, but I'm glad he's here. Do you feel like anybody from Death Stranding 2 might have got snubbed, or maybe do you feel like Charlie Cox being instead of Andy Serkis? Like, is there any snubs you feel is here?
No, I mean,
somebody that doesn't belong. He looks at the it's like
I'm looking. I don't think so. And remind me of which character in Clair Expedition Jennifer English voice.
Jennifer was the main. She's Mael.
Yeah. Then. Yeah. She did amazing. Like, honestly, I could think of other people to nominate for. Yeah, I mean, I think
this was stacked. Like, Andy Serkis. I have a feeling people in Death Stranding 2.
Yeah,
like,
and
somebody joked. Somebody joked. They were like, Troy Baker could have been nominated twice because of his role in Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, and
Dispatch is another one that I'm sure there's some people in there that probably was worthy. Yeah.
But and I liked, like, of all the things that I liked in Ghost of Yotei, like I thought Erika Ishii actually did a great job. So I think she deserves to be here too. But
okay. I was curious about that. Yep.
Yeah, I thought she did great. Like the story in that game, it ended a little. I didn't like the way it ended, but other than that, like,
dude, I haven't played Silent Hill F, but I'm kind of glad to see Kanatsu here. Kanatsu, yeah, because I like just from the trailers, I was like, I feel like this girl is killing it, and then there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have. Oh, I will say, snub to me, kind of. It's like the thing is that I don't know who I would swap out for this, but like the girl that played Hazel in South of Midnight, I thought she was so good. I thought she was so good, man. But, I don't know who I would swap out here for her, but I just a shout out to her too. But, Hope and Will, man, that's tough.
Like honestly, I'm just thinking back to my time playing Clair Obscur.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going with Jennifer English on this one. Like that's who I want to win.
Yeah.
Because I think of all the performances, and I do think Charlie Cox. Well, okay, now I'm going to talk myself out of it. Like, because I remember talking.
I mean, you could say it was one that you think will win and one you hope win, but if they're mutual, then cool. But
yeah, I remember talking to a friend about Clair Obscur, and what I told him was, I love how what is Charlie Cox's character's name in that game? He's like the main character.
Gustav.
Gustav. I love how Gustav says so much, yet he says so little. Like he has very few lines that are, but like everything he says has impact. So I think I might go with Charlie Cox. Jennifer English, I thought her male was all awesome, great character, but like I think I'm gonna go with Charlie Cox.
It's funny because what you just said about Charlie Cox, that's how I feel about Ben Starr. I feel like Verso's role in that game, like he's literally at first a man of such few words. So whenever he does speak, it's like, man. But at the same time, I'm like, I just kind of hear Ben Starr though. I hear Clive from Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
But then, as you get into the last act of that game, oh my God, Ben Starr kills it in the last act of the game, man. Oh man, oh man. Okay, I can't say anything. But
I know I can see why he would be the favorite, like for sure.
Oh and, man, dude, I don't want.
And there's also a big reason that I can't. I can't say why, but there's also another big reason why I think Charlie Cox wouldn't get nominated, but I can't even get into it.
I'm pretty. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that too. So I don't know. I'm like okay. In terms of will, I feel like this would go anyway. To be honest, I could see this going any direction. If I was forced to say who will, I almost wonder if they'll just give it to Ben Starr just because it's like, here, man, finally get it, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that before though, and was wrong. So we'll see. So I'll just potentially say Ben Starr, but Hope. There's a part of me that wants Troy to take it. I keep picking the controversial takes, but I'm like, man, people were talking all about you at the end of last year. But
yeah, not that like.
But he is basing it off of a previous character, actually, so maybe not.
But he nails it. Like
he nails it.
That's a skill that I don't know if any of the other 5 nominees here have. Like that he could just, and he's done it time and time again. He did it for the Joker, and now he did it for Indiana Jones. Like pretty impressive. And like, I mean, I could go on about Troy Baker. But
yeah. Again, an actor that could have been nominated twice for his role in Death Stranding 2 as well, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll just say, gun to my head, Ben Starr will. I'm not confident in that whatsoever, though, and probably root for Troy again for the controversy of it. But I seriously though, it could literally go any way, and I'd be totally understanding. So
yeah.
Audio design. Recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design, you got Battlefield 6, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 again, Death Stranding 2 on the beach, Ghost of Yotei, Silent Hill F. Josh, as somebody that played Ghost of Yotei, does it belong here?
I mean,
for audio design,
there wasn't anything that I never was playing that game and was thinking like, man, the audio is what makes this game. But I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
You know, like it's.
I feel like that's the weakest link here to me. I feel like I don't know. I can't vouch though, but I just feel like I never heard anybody talk about the sound design of that game.
Yeah.
Everything else, it's like they had to create stuff, but like, or it's just really great sounding. Like Battlefield 6, I will vouch to hell and back about, because that game, man, when you play it, I can't emphasize like playing with headphones and a jet runs over me while there's like explosions happening. I'm like, I literally have said it out loud so many times. God damn, the sound design is good. I've literally done that so many times out loud. So I'm glad it's here, but I don't know.
Maybe. I was going to say it might be a snub, but maybe it also didn't make the cutoff. But this is a category that I'm actually surprised not to see Call of Duty.
So admittedly, I spent all of last weekend playing Black Ops 7.
Okay.
And I don't think it would be here. I think the sounds are too similar to last year's. There's nothing that they really did differently. I get what you're talking about, because usually shooters make it in here. But if that's the case, what happened to Doom: The Dark Ages?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. To me, I feel like Yote is the weakest link, because I could see Death Stranding 2, they had to make certain sounds, and oh my God, some of the sounds in Expedition 33 hit. Silent Hill F makes total sense, because horror usually always makes it into. I just feel like something could be in for Yote, but anyway, that's that.
Yeah, maybe Donkey Kong Bonanza even, like.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Not for sound, not sound, like the rubble breaking, but even the rubble breaking, oh. But anyways, so for the will and hope, I mean, I'll just say I'm a bit biased to this one, but I'll hope Battlefield 6, because man, I've never felt more like I am in a active war zone than that game. I've never in any game I've ever played in my life have felt I am in a war zone than in that game when I'm wearing headphones. So that's what I'm obviously hoping for. Rooting for, will win. I don't have any idea. There's a part of me that just, this is kind of like performance. I could see it going anyway. I'll say, you know what? I'm going to be bold. I have a feeling Battlefield 6 is going to both win, and I hope for it, because I just feel like it's the biggest standout to people. I'm probably wrong about that. They're probably going to pick Death Stranding 2 or Clair Obscur just because of the hype around it. But I hope they recognize, like, you know what? The one with the most notable sound, but maybe I'm wrong about that. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, having not played it, but I will be rooting for Battlefield 6 just because I want that game to do as well as it possibly can. I hope that they make a comeback. I have a feeling Death Stranding 2 will win.
Gun to my head, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
It's such a unique atmosphere and world, and like, yeah, the sound design is a big part of it. Like, I don't know. Are the BTs as big of a deal in Death Stranding 2 as they were in 1?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because like that was like audio was such a big part of that. Like you can't see them, and they show up. I
mean, but if that was something in Death Stranding 1, I would imagine there's something. If they're not a big part, there's something to make up for it, So, you know what? You convinced me. I think Death Stranding 2 will. That's what I'll change that to. So, yeah. Okay. Speaking of sound, best score in music. We're almost there. For outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and our licensed soundtrack, you got Christopher Larkin doing Hollow Knight Silksong, Darren Korb for Hades 2, Lorian Testard for Expedition 33, Toma Ottawa for Ghost of Yote, and Woodkid and Ludwig Forsell for Death Stranding 2. This is one I feel like everybody makes sense, but I'm going to be honest. This is, of all the categories Expedition 33 has been nominated for, this is the one, no question. No 100%. Question. There's no, like both hope and will, no question.
Yep, 100%. I completely agree. I will say, it might be too minimal, because there's really only like one soundtrack or one song. I mean, there might be multiple songs, but the music is very sparse in the game. But the music in Blueprints was awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Like
sorry. Yeah. So yeah, what's snubbed? Yeah, that's a good shout. Like if there was a snub, sorry, we got ahead of ourselves. Yeah.
I would have liked to see Blueprints nominated here, but I think I might be alone in that because it is so minimal, the music in that game. But
Josh, I want you to know.
It hits.
I want you to know. Well, we did the fantasy draft 2 weeks ago. Not Josh, sorry, my buddy Rob, he thought they were actually going to nominate it. And when he said that, I was like, Rob, I freaking love you because I hope so. You took a bold bet on that, and I respect the hell out of it. I wouldn't have had the balls because I don't think it's going to happen, but I respect the hell out of it. And he was wrong, but I'm with you. It's like that soundtrack is so, it's funny because it's so diverse, but it's also so absent. It's weird. It's just there. If you're paying attention, it's just there, but only enough there that you can not notice it. It's weird. Yeah. So I work to it all the time. I literally work to it today. Like, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. I would agree with you. That's a snub. South of Midnight. Definite snub. I would say. Yeah. Again, if we had to swap something out, I don't know if anything here could be swapped out for it. That's actually a good question. If South of Midnight or Blueprints made it in here, what do you think we could swap out for it?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't remember the music from Ghost of Yote. So
that's what I was looking at too.
Alone that I couldn't remember it, and I just played that game, so that seems to be the one. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking too. Admittedly, not as somebody that I haven't played it, but I haven't heard anybody talk about the soundtrack of that game. So Blueprints and South of Midnight for snub, but unanimous for sure. Both the hope and will is Expedition 33. No question, because that soundtrack is freaking amazing. Not to like belittle it, but it's just like I say belittle as in move on, but like it's so good. It's so diverse. There's so many different kinds of music in it. Even when the emotional moments hit, they hit because they feel like they were written for the scene. That is one of the best soundtracks I have heard in so many years. No question.
One of the few games where I've ever stopped to play multiple times when a song came on to look it up on YouTube to make sure I had it to listen to later.
Yeah. Yep. Phenomenal. Best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement, artistic design, and animation. I think it's interesting they outline technical, but that's fair. We got Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yote, man, Hades 2, and Hollow Knight Silksong. Snubs?
I'm trying to think of snubs right now.
For me, not to sound like the Xbox guy, I don't think South of Midnight could potentially beat any of these 5, so I see why it's not in. I will say though, Keeper from Double Fine.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Keeper from Double Fine and I think their name is Squid Studio or something. Sword of the Sea.
Yeah.
Those 2 games, I don't know if they could beat any of these or even have a shot. But like, I just feel like those 2 Keeper especially, man. There's so many moments I took screenshots that I'm like, this is a painting, and Sword of the Sea, it wasn't quite like this is a painting, but it's more so just like when you're just standing or moving in the environments they created. They're so beautiful for art direction. So I'd say between Keeper or Sword of the Sea for art direction. But
I would also say the Midnight Walk could fit in here.
That's a good shout. Yep.
And also Bionic Bay, the first 30 minutes of that game, I was just like, I mean, I love the way that game looked overall.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it deserves a nomination, but I do think that the Midnight Walk could fit in here.
Yeah. I'm super with you on Midnight Walk for sure. I think that's got a very unique style. Because that's the thing. It's like, I get why Death Stranding 2 is here because it's stunning. Like the technology, that's why they outlined technical. Like it's stunning what they did with that game visually. It's like what I would say Hellblade 2 was last year or whatever, but actually a great game. I get Hades 2, but I also feel like Hades 2 is kind of building upon the first game so much that I'm like, yeah. Whereas Hollow Knight Silksong, at least they kind of like revamped everything and like went much. That game's art direction is at least in my opinion, much better than the first games. Yeah, I'm hoping Expedition, just because that game, you're on a journey to slay a paintress, but literally there's so much about that game that looks like it's a painting. Yeah. I think will and hope is, once again, this is another category that I think both I'm rooting for and think will be picked as Expedition, just because I don't think I've ever seen better backdrops in a game. Like, the backdrops in that game is phenomenal.
And the combat UI is awesome in that game.
Yes, that's a super good shout. Yes.
So that's another reason why I think that I will say Ghost of Yotei, if there's one category where I think it excels, I think that its art direction, like it's a beautiful, but the way that's like the missions like appear on screen and then they blow away when you finish them, just super cool. But I don't think it holds a candle to Clair Obscur.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious about that too, if you could vouch for that. So all good picks overall. Like again, the things that thought were snubbed, it's like I don't know if they could, whatever the weakest link is here, I don't know if they could fight it, but almost there. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Once again, 11 nominations, by the way. No, 12. 11 or 12 nominations for Clair Obscur.
I thought it was 12, but I could be wrong. It's a lot.
I think it is 12. It's the record breaking. It's the most nominated game, I think, of the Game Awards ever. So for best narrative, we got Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, It Comes Back, and Silent Hill F. Silent Hill F. How do you feel about that being in here?
Well, I mean, having not played it, I can't really speak to it, but I do. I mean,
do you think this is because I've heard so many good things about Silent Hill 2's story, and so seeing like a brand new Silent Hill game in this category, maybe just generally speaking.
Now, I have played Silent Hill 2, and I would be very surprised if Silent Hill F
is on that level.
Is it? I don't think it's on that level. Yeah, Silent Hill 2 is not one of my favorite like survival horror games, but the story does go places, man.
Yeah.
Anyways,
well, I mean,
so
maybe that's what happened. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe apparently those that played it. Apparently, like, yeah.
But everything I've heard about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, like that the story in that game is just really, really, really good.
Such good characters, so I hear, especially a main. Like I from what I've heard in terms of RPG stuff, like Henry is one of the most likable RPG characters you will ever take control of. Like, and that's important for a game like that. But instead of self-inserting, they had to make a character, and if you're going to be, role playing as that character, you gotta really like him. So, because you're going to be literally controlling what he does. So I don't know. And you said earlier, like Yotei, it's like I don't know. I feel like they've kind of done this story before, So.
I feel like there's got to be a game or two out there that could sub in for Ghost of Yotei on this list.
Yeah, I can't really, admittedly, narrative, I can't think of too many blueprints. Well, here's the thing. Post game of blueprints, yes, but I didn't even do it. I just looked up videos about it, but yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of anything that would swap Yotei. Somebody hopefully will comment what, but
like I didn't play it, but was 100 Line Defense Force known for its story? I know a lot of people love that game, but
that's a good shout. Yeah, I don't know I mean, I hear the story's really good, but I wonder. Yeah, that's a good shout. I don't know.
Or Dispatch? Aren't people like falling in love with Dispatch? Oh, that's
what it should be. That's what it, Josh. That's absolutely Dispatch. I think Dispatch. Yeah, go in over Yotei. I think that's what should have happened. Yep, Dispatch definitely should have been in here for sure. If it was eligible, Yeah. Maybe people were a little bit.
Else.
It did. It got best debut indie game. So maybe it's because people felt like they wanted to see the end to it before they nominated it. To which fair, especially for narrative, that's fair. So
yeah.
I don't like saying a hope for this category just because I haven't experienced the majority of these, so I just can't really vouch. So I just will say the will. I feel like Expedition 33 just because so many people, so if I just strictly go off word of mouth, since I haven't played all these, I feel like so many people in their reviews for that game were not expecting to be hit with a story like that. They were not expecting that at all. And I think that shock factor and what you and I just did earlier about like, we can't even say anything. You know, there's so much to spoil about the game. I think that might like take it, you know? So that's what I'll say. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I've got to go with Clair Obscur. Like, I just think the first like 15 minutes of that game hit you like a ton of bricks, you know? Or at least they did me. And I feel like the writing and the word that comes to mind is that story is just really like sophisticated. That for some reason that's the word that comes to mind, which you don't get a lot in video games at that level. And
sophisticated in the way of like you understand it, you know, like it's not Kojima where he's trying to make it weird. It's not Tetsuya Nomura trying to make it bullshit or whatever. It's a story that has, just in the words of Shrek, layers. And it's one of those stories too that like there's so many scenes that have so much new context once you've gone through it all once. You know, there's such a totally different way to see everything once you go through it once. So yeah.
And just such an original premise, like this premise
totally
story-wise.
That's a good point too. The premise, like we were literally sold on this game, I feel, because of the premise. Like literally the first trailer they did, they give us the premise and we're like, that's a good setup, dude. That's a good setup. Yep. So yeah. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm versed enough in this to really say hard, but semi-finally, best game direction awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. This is that category, before I read these, that I just want to say I do think it'd be so cool to just change this to best innovation or I don't, game design or something, just something that's like, we did something to push the industry in a direction, you know? And like you said, Blueprints would be a great nomination for that. Because this category, I get it. It's separate. We've done this many times, you and me, but like, it is separate because it's like, this is about the vision, not the overall product, but the vision we had, and they pulled it off. So I think it's different enough, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
I think that like I would, even though I maybe they didn't want to make this category. Well, I mean, these nominations, it's not like they come from one person. So I don't know why Yote did end up here, but I don't know why Kingdom Come Deliverance is not here.
Let me read these. So we got, for best game direction, we got Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghosts of Yote, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. And so you feel, what are the two weakest? Saying, or what?
Well, the one that I would definitely swap out is Ghost of Yote. I think that, and based off of everything I've heard, I would say that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 certainly, I would think, deserves to be here more than that. But
dude, that's a good shout. I didn't even think of that. That's such a good shout.
Yeah, like that game, there's nothing like Kingdom Come Deliverance except for maybe the prequel or the one that was the first one. And
that's such a good shout.
Ghost of Yote, like, yeah, it's a good game and it's a well-made game, but it's like so many other games, you know?
It's so like other games. Like and that's why I'm worried, Josh, because you mentioned earlier, like there maybe being a bias towards PlayStation, and it's like, I don't know, like this is not dismissing Ghost of Yote, like saying it's a bad game or anything, but just when we think about awards and what, you know, did something special and such, like, you know, just because it's a PlayStation game, that doesn't mean we have to nominate it, you know? Now, I'm not putting the words in the mouth of the people that voted on this, but as you said, you know, like it just seemed like it was another Ghost of Tsushima and so on. But yeah, if this category, to me, one of the best examples of game direction ever was 2017. That was the year that you had Breath of the Wild and Resident Evil 7. Breath of the Wild, they took the Zelda series in a completely different direction. They killed it. And Resident Evil 7, that was a total reinvention. That was going back to form, and let's make it first person. Those are two great examples of this. And so with that in mind, I feel like, yeah, Yote is definitely, to me, the weakest link. Like, Hades 2 and Death Stranding 2, and even you would argue Split Fiction, they kind of built, there's a lot of sequels in here, actually. Now that I look at this, there's a lot of sequels. There's a lot of sequels here. That's actually really true.
4 of them, 4 out of 5.
There's sequels, 4. Yeah. Like the only one that isn't a sequel is Expedition. So yeah. I'm with you about like, I think Blueprints would have functioned great here. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things from the indie category that could have been in here, but but again, it depends on what we think of. The Altars, that's another good show. But again, I think they would need to change the title for that. You know, like then it's like what did something different or something? I don't know, but it's just a weird category to me. But anyway,
honestly, I don't know. Just as you mentioned sequels, like outstanding creative vision and innovation. I mean, like by definition, a sequel is building off of something that already exists, you know?
Yep. That's true. I didn't even think about that. These are all like 4 out of 5 are sequels. So, I will say, well, that's the thing. Like Split Fiction, I'm kind of glad it's here, but it's more, they do a lot of new ideas in the game. I don't want to say it's just a continuation of It Takes Two. They do try some new stuff in that game that I really like. I'm like, wow, you did some cool stuff here. I will say that, especially like towards the end of that game, man, it gets crazy. But so I wouldn't take that out. But everything else a little bit questionable to me. But yeah, just because I feel like towards the end of our whole talk here, Expedition 33 is kind of taking over my opinions. But I just feel like just because that's not a sequel, and just because of what this category is, I would imagine the industry will both pick it, and I'm also kind of rooting for it. Yeah, I'm rooting for it.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I think like I've played what was it? Metaphor Refantasio or Refantasio. Never figured out how to say that. And that game like solidified to me that I'm like, I don't like turn-based combat. I just don't like it. And then I played Expedition 33 and I'm like, I guess I do like turn-based combat.
That's a good, Josh, you just convinced me. I 100, I don't know about Will. I feel like maybe, Will, but like Hope, you just convinced me because they literally made turn-based combat sick. Like everybody hopped on board turn-based combat with that. And I bet you there's going to be a lot of people that make turn-based combat games after this.
Yeah.
100%.
You just got to do something. You just got to be creative and do something different with it, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Finally, Game of the Year. Donkey Kong Bonanza is here, folks. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative technical fields. So the whole package, Game of the Year, we have Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Dude, I feel like if there was 6 games this year that could win Game of the Year, that is almost like unanimously you get it, I feel like these were the 6. I'd love to hear if you feel stuff is left out. Like Blueprints, definite shout for sure.
For me Fiction, it would be.
Yeah, yep. I feel Split Fiction kind of is too. And that's really it to me. I don't feel like there's another obvious one. There's things that I would root for, but like, I feel like in terms of the overall industry, Blueprints and Split Fiction are the only ones I really think of. But
those would be my 2 pulls as well. I was thinking Split Fiction is the only one like industry wide that I feel like stood a chance to get in here and didn't. I don't think Blueprints was liked that much by enough people, but for me, Blueprints. Exactly. I don't know if I've said it
enough.
Yeah, I don't know if I've said it, but Blueprints is actually my game of the year. So. That's what I would put in here, but
I fully understand. I figured, I was like, man, Josh, I can imagine Josh took off his pants in this game like this.
Pretty much. I mean, like I played that game for 40 hours and there's still so much. Like I've thought it would be fun to just go back and redo it. And there's so many
I will tell you right now, like, again, we keep sidetracking, but like I couldn't fathom it. I looked up, I'm like, hey, what is there left to do in this game? You will not believe the amount, like there's so much. I mean, I don't know if that's a spoiler to say, but there's just a lot to do after. Yeah. So, But yeah, so Blueprint Split Fiction for sure. Yeah, I'm glad. I feel like Kingdom Come Deliverance is the dark horse here. And it's funny because it's made by Warhorse. So I don't expect it to win or anything, but I'm just like, it was the one thing that I wasn't sure would make it in. I feel like it's literally the 6 in the row here because it was a 6 option.
Yeah.
And then again, Bananza, thank goodness it it finally comes back, it gets its nominations. Yep. But I just love that half of this category, I mean, arguably 4 out of 6, but just like Kingdom Come, Hollow Knight, Hades 2, and Clair Obscur, 4 games that are like not 100 million
not
budgets. Yeah, not AAA. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Not AAA. Yeah. So that's really freaking cool. And Hades 2 and Hollow Knight Silksong, 3 of them, you could get 3 of these for exactly $100. So
yeah,
that's crazy. So it's so cool. Like this is the most competitive year in all of in my years of gaming. I feel like it's just been such a good year. That said, 2007 and so on. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think I have any snubs. If you have a snub, feel free to share it besides Blueprints and such. But is there a will and hope for you?
So I would. It's
tough,
hard,
right?
I think Clair Obscur will. I would bet the farm on it. Like that.
I'm with you. Clair Obscur will. Yep.
And this is kind of interesting. Like in terms of my enjoyment, I love that
we just locked that down. By the way, we just said that yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
In terms of my enjoyment, I actually liked Donkey Kong Bonanza better than Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Okay.
But I think that Clair Obscur does more to kind of push the industry forward by a long shot. So for that reason, I kind of hope that it wins too. I think Clair Obscur is going to influence more games in the future than any game on this list. I think hands down. So that's why I think it will win, and for that reason, I hope it does.
Yeah, there's a part of me that's I already said I also think will win Expedition. Look at how many nominations it got. When we talk about a complete package, there you go. But there's a part of me that's also like, I don't expect this, but a part of me is like, I feel like there's the slightest chance. Okay, let me just say, let me change. I hope Expedition will win. I'm still betting it's going to win, but I just want to say, I feel like Hollow Knight Silksong could sweep under it. I'm not like, I still am betting on Expedition, but there's just something about just Hollow Knight Silksong. Like, it's just a gut feeling of like how hard that hit people. Yes, you brought the whole combat thing, but like it reviewed insanely well. And again, it's one of those games that the buildup actually paid off. The message it sends of like a game of the year that's $20, developed by 3 guys, and everything else about it is stunning. The art direction, the music, and so on. And it's like, I just feel like it's one of those games that if people were voting, they're like, you know what? We gave Expedition a lot, and Hollow Knight could say something. But at the same time, Expedition could totally say something too. But I just feel like what an upset it would be. So I'm still betting Expedition, but I'm just like, I feel in my gut there's a slight chance of the runner-up being Silksong. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. That would be
a surprise if that happens. I feel like
no, exactly. Like I feel like that's when It Takes Two was nominated in 2021. That's exactly the same thing I said. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna win, but a gut feeling tells me like it did. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't think it's gonna win at all. But yeah, so who knows? But it's a lot of categories to go through. Very curious what anybody listening thinks, and maybe whose hopes you align with most, whose wins you think will be the most winning. Let us know. To do this with me was Josh from Quest Mode. And Josh, are you coming back next year? Like, I don't feel like I introduced your channel very well, but anything you want to share with peeps that maybe are hearing from you the first time?
Yeah, I mean, well, I did have a YouTube channel years ago. It's been like 3 years since I was really active on it. Quest Mode.
I'll plug it in description. It's there. Sorry. Keep going.
Cool. No worries. And yeah, I'm planning on making more content next year. So I do a lot of preview videos for games that are coming out, and I do tip videos for games that have come out. So if that interests you, Quest Mode on YouTube, youtube.com/Quest Mode.
Is there anything you might experiment with next year? I know that's kind of a vague and big question because I'll share. I want to do more rankings, but I don't know if there's anything you hope to do more next year.
I do want to just do more videos that like are stuff that I want to like. Totally. Videos that probably won't get a lot of views, but just the stuff that I want to do. Like I am kind of like a trophy hunter. So doing like a video about my top, like the best platinum trophies that I earned in 2025 would be fun. So stuff like
Josh, that's a good idea. That's a good one. Like favorite or hardest trophies or something. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard that before. That's great. Yeah. Well, yeah. Josh from Quest Mode. He's amazing. I'm so glad to have done this with you this year. We went for a long conversation here, but I appreciate your time and I appreciate you, the viewer, for watching so much. Would love to know your thoughts on all this. And yeah, I'll see you then. Don't forget to geek, be proud, be awesome. Stay wave, Josh. Bye.
Bye.